Boom, we're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast, London today with my new mate, UFC veteran, Claudio Silva. Thanks for doing this, bro.
Thank you, pleasure.
So we got speaking because I was speaking on here with Barry boxing coach and Wesley Meyer. They both said, got to speak to Claudio. So I reached out and I'm grateful for you letting me do this, mate. For anyone who doesn't know, fought in the UFC. How many fights you had in the UFC?
8 fights.
8 fights UFC, beat Leon Edwards, who went on to become champion. Yes. But before we get into any of that, mate, where are you from originally? How'd you get into fighting?
I'm from Brazil. I'm from a city called Mato Grosso. So I was just born in there, never had any family there. You know, my parents used to move around a lot. My father was in the military service for many years. And from Mato Grosso, then I was in Minas Gerais, also Rio de Janeiro. So we're moving quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. Brazil, big country as well,
yeah,
isn't it?
Huge country.
Yeah, because for us in England, like you've been here, we were speaking before, you've been here 18 years, so you're one of us now, right? But like, for us, if I get in a car and I drive 8 hours that way, I'm at the end of the country, right? I'll find the sea. Whereas for you, Brazil, you moving around, I'm assuming you just lose touch with everybody.
Not. Well, yes, when you were young, yes, because we don't have any social media at the time. But sometimes, most of times, you know, people that used to study with me when I was a kid or a teenager, they find me on Instagram, social media, we will keep in touch.
Yeah, I got you. But like with fighting and stuff like that, was you always fighting as a kid or did this come a bit later?
No, I started to fight at the young age of 6 years.
Oh.
6 years old, I started with karate, then capoeira, then Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah.
MMA started in UK. I used to train MMA in Brazil, here and there. But I started competing. My whole career was in UK, in London. And my only only MMA fight in Brazil was against Leon Edwards.
Yes. In the big show at the UFC,
yeah. In the UFC at my parents' hometown, Uberlândia, Minas Gerais.
Right, okay, so special. I'm assuming this is special
yeah,
fight.
It was special, you know, was... no, I'm from a city that there's no many. I grew up in this place, Uberlândia, and we didn't have much famous fighters, you know. And being the first guy from the city to fight in UFC was something special, you know.
Nice, yeah.
And it gave me. I have a lot of pride to fight there, and have funny histories, you know, about that fight as well. Fighting in your hometown is a big pressure.
Right.
But it was all great at the end. I had a good victory.
And as we said, we'll get into it more because Leon Edwards obviously went on to become champion. So that's a nice name to have on the record, isn't it? To have beat him. Name. But like, what brought you to the UK originally?
I was living in Italy, you know, and with my mom's sisters. I was there for like 3 months. I just came to just travel, you know, and stay out of Brazil for a period. And I was training and teaching in Italy, so they asked me to fight the Europeans, so I fought. And then a friend of mine, Alan Pozo, you know, invited me to live here, you know. So I thought, well, at the time I would like to learn English and move to America.
Right.
Then I thought, well, it's you know, if I speak Italian, I only speak in Italy, but if I speak English, I can, you know, travel around the world. So that's why I came here for, and since then, you know, becomes like a home, you know, hometown, you know, and I made history. Also, like I came here as a legal immigrant, you know, came on a tourist visa. When I first came, I only had 1 week, one-way ticket. I didn't have both ways, you know. Met some Brazilians at the airport, so they translate the conversation at the home office, you know. So the home office guy, he says, well, I know people that come here and I send them back, they have everything. This guy has everything wrong. You know, a letter was saying, I'll come here to teach a seminar. So in the letter was saying that I was world champion, so they want to see proof. I show my, at that time I won Europeans when I fought at Europeans, so I won 3 gold medals.
And this is Jiu Jitsu, right?
In Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, yes. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, my career was in Brazil. And then, so when I fought Europeans, you know, I came here, got the visa, and then, you know, I was like, wow. I was amazed by London. It was everything new. It was a new beginning. You know, it was like become a kid again because I have to learn the language. You know, it's like also in Brazil is something here is different. You know, in Brazil when people mess around with you, you're just street fighters, a normal thing in Brazil. if you fight, you're going to jail.
Yeah,
so I have to become more civilized here in London.
Oh, was that a tough tough transition?
Tough transition, because when I was in Rio, I was living in the favelas.
Right.
So, the way I grew up, by people, if they take a piece with you, if you head down to them, they own you, So I have to prove myself at the time since the young age. And it was something great, to move here, to become more civilized a little bit.
How old was you when you come here?
Sorry?
How old?
I was 24.
Oh, so you're a man already? Yeah.
Yes.
He was already a man.
Wow, when you're 24, you're still a boy.
It's tough,
still a baby boy. It takes time to a man become mentally, grow.
I got you. But with jiu-jitsu, you was already black belt, I'm assuming, European champion, all that kind of stuff.
I came here as a brown belt.
Right, but European champion as a brown belt.
European champion, Brazilian. I won the nationals in Brazil.
Right.
I used to fight every weekend, So it was easy to fight in time. So I got third place in the Worlds. When the World was in Brazil, I never fought the BJJ Worlds in America.
Right.
Only in Brazil.
Right.
Because I stayed for quite a long time as a brown belt. And then I fought MMA and I got money. I'm like, wow, why am I going to fight for a medal, I'm going to fight MMA, I will make money all the time. So I remember when I won like 3 fights in the night, in the night.
Right. Okay.
And the champion gets a belt, and the time was 5,000 pounds.
Right.
So when I sold that in cash, I thought, wow, I'm rich.
I made it. Yeah.
I made it. Then I thought, well, if I won 3 fights in the night, I submit them all of my fights the first round. Now I have to go to UFC.
Right.
That was I was thinking like this, and yes, everything. The best things in my life happens in London. That's why I consider UK and London my hometown, my second hometown.
Okay. Are you here for life now? This is home?
Of course, this is home, but maybe when I get older, I would live in some place sunny like Portugal.
Yeah, don't get much sun around here, man. This is not the place for sun.
Yes, not for sun, but we take it,
Yeah, we take
the winter, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we get on with it. But like, which point, like when you decided to start fighting MMA, which point did it become like real and this was like your career? Like, I can do this for a living.
Well, when I first came to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I used to see Carson Gracie magazines, and I used to see all these guys, Paulão, Murilo Bustamante, Ricardo Libório. I used to see all of them, and Ricardo Arona. The guys are very strong guys, And I say, man, that's what I want. They travel the world, they make money, they fight in Japan at Pride, they fight in UFC. So wow, that's what I'm going to do, for a living. And yes, that's what I was chasing. But then, when I came to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I realized you have to learn how to do takedowns, have a good ground game. And back in the day in Brazil, they only allowed black belts to fight in MMA.
Is that right? Oh, wow.
Yes,
okay.
They don't allow like blue belts or purple belts. You have
That's
to be a black belt.
Right.
You have to win like nationals, Panams, everything.
And what is this? Is this to like represent jiu-jitsu?
To represent jiu-jitsu, to make sure you get that lack of experience of competition.
Yeah.
So then you go to fight MMA, because everybody nowadays wants to be an MMA fighter, UFC fighter, You see kids now on social media doing trash talk. They didn't even made it, And they think it's easy. People think, okay, I'm going to start training MMA. But you have to learn boxing, wrestling, kickboxing, BJJ. It's a lot to learn. And you never competed in your life. How are you going to train 6 months and compete? You're going to get a guy that used to be an Olympian wrestler.
Yeah.
So you're never going to win that fight, So I think that's how old coaches in Brazil, they used to have this mentality. Before you go to MMA, you have to know you have to be a champion with gi and no gi, and then you used to go.
Yeah.
That's the old mentality, because nowadays MMA became a method, so everybody learns everything. But still, if you don't have many experience, many background at competition in your sport, it's not going to be any easy to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah, because being in a real fight is a different thing too, isn't it?
Very
like
different.
when you get under them lights, you're in the changing beforehand. It's like fuck, it's a different experience, isn't it?
Crazy different. Also, when you fight in UFC, you go to a big show.
Yeah.
You have many interviews, many people, you came to the arena, you see like 20,000 people screaming, boo you, and you see so many cameras. This is a massive distraction, That's why a lot of guys, they doing great in domestic level, but when they go to a high level, they frozen,
Right.
That's why you have to have experience before go to UFC. You have to have a background in any competition before go to UFC. That's my advice, for everybody.
Well, I mean, nowadays it's so big as well, right? There's so many people, different backgrounds and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what is it? Be an interesting question actually. When you first came to the UK, you was good level jiu-jitsu already. Like we're going back a bit. It's not like today. What was the level of jiu-jitsu like when you come here?
When I came here, it was great.
It was already great.
Good, but at the time, we didn't have so many tournaments, competition, and in my BJJ career in UK, I only lost once.
Okay.
And then I revenged the loss.
Nice. Beat everyone you faced then.
Yes, it was funny because when I came and I was training in a small gym, when you had Roger Gracie, that's a legend, a GOAT in BJJ.
Right.
So he used to have a student, the guy was a brown belt. He used to kill everybody. So then I had a fight with him, and I was beating him up. Then he got me in a choke. Everybody thought I would lose, so I escaped and I beat him up, submit him, and then he wants to fight no gi. So it was funny, They gave him a white uniform, black uniform, and my friends used to say, that's the fight between the good and bad guy. I say, yes, I'm the bad guy, the ugly guy. He can be the good guy, the beautiful guy. At the end of the day, I will fuck him up. I will beat him up,
Right. Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens, But the level in UK, you guys have great BJJ competitors, But still, I've seen people here, they want to be black belt world champion, but they never go to America to compete in different belts, color belts, So how you're gonna win the most difficult tournament if you didn't make a career, if you didn't had experience as a blue belt in the world as a purple, brown, and black belt? It's never gonna happen.
Right.
And also as well, I'm like, I don't understand how some British guys, they say to me, when I used to teach to be a coach, I used to tell my students, you have to fight the world in America, and they come to me, I don't have money. I'm like, how comes you don't have money to pay a ticket? Because in Brazil, people from Manaus, Amazon, people from everywhere, they don't have a single pen, and they find a way. They get the money to get the visa, USA visa. That's the most difficult thing for a Brazilian person, They sell water and the traffic lights on the beach. They find a way to buy the ticket, and then they have to go there. And once they get there, they need money to a place to stay and to eat, and they don't even have this money, They sleep in the gym.
Yeah.
And they win, They won.
Yeah.
So that's something that the British people, they have to understand, They have to. London is a paradise, So you work, you make money, you can go anywhere, you can buy anything, you can travel to anywhere. And if you see these guys from Brazil, they don't have much.
Right.
They don't even have a Nike. If they have a Nike shoes, they are considered rich people,
Is that right? Yeah.
Sometimes, to be honest, some fighters, they need to have more. They need to be more hungry. You understand? Right. And for what I see, some people here, they don't have it. They don't have that desire to win. Not only here, everywhere. I see now, fighter becomes something fashionable. People do it because they're like, I'm going to UFC. They just fucking do it to get views and likes on Instagram.
Yeah.
And So.
But it's interesting you say that because it's like you said, if you want to be there, you'll find a way, right? These poor people from Brazil ain't got nothing.
And they find a way, they become champions.
And it's interesting, like you say, the fashionable thing too. I think a lot of people think they want to be a fighter until they realize,
they get a punch in the face.
This is every day, and this is what you got to do.
Nose, they get like armbar. I've seen guys, man. They have good physique, good looking guy. Once you scream with them, come on, fucking do it, become a man, be tough, man up. They're like, oh, you hurt my feelings, I'm not coming anymore. I say, fuck off.
And also the fight itself is one thing, but it's the whole life around it.
Exactly.
It's like what you got to do every day.
How are you going to romanticize a war?
Yeah.
There's two ways to learn it. So you can read a book, or you can be in a real war. Who's going to win? Who's going to be the guy that will be more respectable? People say, no, this guy He knows what he's talking about. He's been through everything. He's been there. Or a guy that just write a book or read a book about fight. Okay, so your first fight, you have to concentrate. There's no, there's no instruction.
You got to feel it, ain't you? That
have
feeling.
To feel it,
you got to
have
feel
to
it.
go through it, through the pain. You have to go through like cut weight and everything, you know. And that's what I'm talking about. Some coach, they never fought in their life. They just lied to them.
It's crazy that, and
they never had a fight, brother. And they're like, they just made you do hard sparring. Hard sparring will never made you a good fighter, you know. You have to train smart nowadays. Well, hard sparring will get you there. You're gonna be overtraining. You're gonna, gas out quickly. It's a crazy game.
Thing,
People have to be smart. They have to hear their body as well. Sometimes when you don't want to train, just don't go. Because sometimes a fighter they think, if I don't go training now, they're gonna think I'm a pussy. I'm scared. No, be smart.
Because it's not about Wednesday afternoon, right? It's about your fight day.
It's about the fight day.
And that's interesting because I think a lot of people as well. Most people, in fact, when you're training for a fight, it's all about training hard. Now, of course, you've got to train hard, right? But it's not about training hard. It's about getting for the fight.
Training smart, It's like in the life, If training hard makes you a champion.
Right.
Why a lot of guys that I know, they train for 10 years, more than 10 years, they didn't get any big show.
No.
If it's about, let's say, a harder work guy, a guy that works in some factory.
Yeah.
He's a hard work guy. He works 15 hours a day. Why he's not rich?
Right.
Because he doesn't work with his brain.
Right.
Sometimes, like most of the times, you see guys, they work with their brain, and they are the bosses. They make the most. And I think in martial arts, you can do the same. You can
what was your training like in terms of like? Obviously, over time, it all changes, right? The more experience we get, we change. But like from like when you was at your peak, when you was in the UFC, you're winning, you're doing all this kind of stuff.
I did all, I train in the wrong way and I won fights.
Yeah.
I train in a nice, smart way and I lost fights.
Right, yeah.
But I used to train in a gym in London that they used to do hard sparring every day, almost every day, They didn't have a scale. They didn't have like a shadow. So you come there, you think you're gonna do BJJ, MMA gloves sparring. You come there tomorrow, kickboxing drills, MMA sparring, let's go, ground and pound specific training. So no, for what? You just get tough, but you don't have skills.
Yeah.
And I used to train, and I used to train and go to camps that the way they train, they do like, they just make, let's say, drills. They do sparring. At the sparring, you cannot go crazy. If they see you go like real in the sparring, they're gonna say, "Stop, come tomorrow." But they drill a lot, They make you drill over and over again. So when you fight, was everything automatically.
Right.
Because some academies, they see a guy, some camps, they wanna kill a guy, like make him really tired, make him spar like all the time. Oh, he's cutting weight, he's tired because of the whole week of training, and they come like a fresh guy, say, go train with him. So then you're gonna beat up many times.
Right.
So that way, your camp and your coach, he kills your confidence.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna think, fuck, I cannot do anything to this guy, I cannot beat him up, make him top. My BJJ level is the worst. I cannot finish any fight, And the older way, in the smart way of training, so people drill a lot, they do a lot of drills, when you train, of course you're not gonna win all the time in the train, don't get me wrong, but when you drill more, when you don't have a lot of impact, you're gonna get fresh to the fight, you're gonna believe in your skills.
Yeah, I understand.
You understand?
Yeah,
because what's the point to just train and get beaten up?
Well, you can do that. A lot of people do that as well, innit? They train like almost too hard and they get good at surviving versus winning. You know what I mean? And that's obviously, you turn up on fight night, it's not time to survive, is it? You're trying to win here now.
It's crazy now. In MMA, to be honest, there is not like a formula that you're going to win or lose. It depends. But if you can come at the fight as like with everybody who comes with injury, nobody comes, without injuries to compete.
Yeah, right.
But if you can save your body, that's the best way of training.
Yeah. Well, Georges St. Pierre used to speak about this a lot, right? Like he'd get closer to a fight, and the hard training's like it's done, it's in the bank.
Exactly.
I might be getting it a bit wrong how he said it, but you know what I'm saying. He want to turn up fight night ready to fight because that's when it matters, right? It don't matter about Wednesday afternoon. As I said before.
No. You gotta be smart. You gotta make sure you don't break your body.
Yeah.
Like have no ego. I've seen guys like Buchecha top in the gym.
Right.
And the guy say, well, why you top? I say, well, because the guy catch me. Why am I gonna hold? Why am I gonna break my arm and not train again?
You don't need a bad elbow as well, right?
And like his mentality is, well, what's gonna change my life if I lose or not on the gym?
Yeah, it's a great way to be in it. It's a great way to be.
Like if you don't have ego, it's a huge thing as well.
Yeah, and it's hard for a lot of people, isn't it? All of us, we've all done it. We've all had something too long and gone. Oh,
yes,
shit.
I injured my arm once. I didn't want to top. It was the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And as I think I have few injuries. One side I turned my elbow, but I don't even know what's happened in a scramble. But then I thought, well, if somebody top me, I just stop. I'm not gonna hold anymore.
I think you get to that point, right, where it's like I can't be bothered.
I don't even care.
Yeah.
To be honest, sometimes I train with people. Back in the days, I want to win. I want to make them top 100 times. And then I started one day I came to a BJJ camp and I saw all this guy competing all the time. I said, do you know what? I don't have stamina as they do. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna let them take my back, and my goal is to escape. If I escape, I won the fight. The training. I had this mentality now. So when I train with somebody, I put myself in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Let them out, Especially if I know I can top them 100 times. Why am I gonna do that?
Yeah.
It doesn't gonna make me any better. But if I put myself in a bad position, then it's okay,
Yeah. Does that change in the lead up to a fight, though? If you're, say, 6 weeks away, are you more, I want to win these rounds now, or still the same?
Oh, it's depends,
Yeah.
Sometimes, like when you train with a guy that you don't even know, you want to show up.
You want to show up,
you're tough and you want to show your skills. But sometimes I just train, I say, whatever, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Let they do, let they take my back. Let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I like that.
Make it more interesting, You learn more.
You definitely learn more, right? But it's almost like you got to get out your own way, right? You got to park your ego because it's hard.
I think it's changed, from age.
Right.
When you're a young guy, you don't have this mentality.
Yeah.
Also, I learned it too late in my career. Like back in the days, we just do sparring in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But now everything's changed. We used to, now people do a lot of specific training.
Yeah.
And that's it,
Yeah, because as
just
well,
enjoy the training.
Enjoy the training is a big. I think that's a good way to learn as well. When you enjoy things, you pick things up easier, right? When you're stressed, it's like, what did we do today? Fuck, I don't know. You just kind of got through it, innit? You know what I mean? And it's a different thing. But when you were fighting, you fought your whole career at welterweight?
I had few fights before UFC. I had one fight at the welterweight, and didn't know how to cut weight.
Yeah.
I was suffering too much,
Yeah, because that's what I'm getting at. You're a quite big guy for that, right?
Yes, I came to the sauna without warm up, without sweating. So man, I felt horrible. And after, instead of drink a little bit, I take like 1 liter of water and drink it once. So then I went to eat. I felt like I have like an umbrella come out of my belly, and I vomited. It was terrible, And then I said, you know what? I'm fighting at 84. Once I get to UFC, I fight at the welterweight.
Okay. Okay.
But even my first fight in UFC was at middleweight.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes,
cool.
then I dropped to welterweight.
Yeah. And when you're fighting in UFC and you're at welterweight, how difficult was that, or did you find a way to do it fairly easy?
No, I did a camp at Novo União, so I follow their program to weight cut. I lost 10 kilograms in 10 days.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, it was a little bit tough.
Yeah.
But I still won the fight. When I fought Leon Edwards, was my first.
That was it.
Welterweight.
Is that the first one? Right. Okay. I didn't know.
In UFC.
Yeah.
And then second fight, yes. Then that was my second fight in UFC against Leon Edwards. And then I had a break because I broke my foot in training. Supposed to fight in Canada, and I broke my foot at train at Novo União. So on the Pederneiras, he saw the way I was limping. He said, "Oh, bro, you broke your leg, your foot." I said, "No, no way." He said, "Yes, you did." I said, "No, don't cancel the fight." He said, "We're gonna cancel the fight because you cannot even walk properly. How are you gonna fight?" I said, "No." I said, "Look, you're gonna have loads of fights. Just wait, you know. UFC will be there for you, but don't fight with an injury because if you lost and you complain, they're gonna say, why you took the fight?"
Right.
Understand? And then I had, then the same year I broke another foot, was training because my mentality was like, wow, now I'm better, I have to train in a high level again. I have to train for a competition. So then I broke my second foot and then I went to a doctor. He said, well, I don't even know how can you walk because you turn your ligaments, you know, you have so many problems in your foot. We have to do a surgery right now. So I had 5 surgeries in one go.
Ooh.
And took 4 years of my career.
4 years?
4 years.
Jesus
Not
Christ.
fight for 4 years.
Ooh.
So my comeback was in Liverpool, you know, and the fight in Liverpool was amazing, unbelievable. That's so crazy how in Liverpool, how they have a respect for fighters, you know. I couldn't even walk properly because everybody approached me, talked to me, asked for photos and everything. And it was a crazy time because for that camp, I came to the gym. I was training with Brad Pickett at the time. So I came to the gym and I said, I'm going to fight. The way he looked at me, like, how comes? No, he couldn't believe because I was too heavy. And my first training, when I trained, after the train, I came home and when I was in a train station, so took me 45 minutes to walk from the train station to my house because I was feeling my foot. I was feeling a lot of pain. So a guy stopped with a car and said, "Hey, would you like a lift? I can see in your face you have pain, you know." I say, no, just go, I'm okay, you know. I was very, you know, like if I cannot walk, my mentality, in my mind was, if I cannot walk, how am I gonna fight?
Right.
So in my mind, in my head, I was like, well, if I don't walk home, it's a defeat. I'm accept a defeat, you know, I lost. Gotcha. Then I have to walk and fight. And then I injured my ribs, so I have to reschedule the fight. And this guy, you know, Nordin Taleb, he was thinking he was the bollocks because he was knock out everybody. He was at that time like Georges St-Pierre's training partner.
Yeah.
He was Neymar's bodyguard, you know.
Is that right?
Yeah, and he was talking that I was scared of him, that I was pussy, I was this piece of shit. And my friends were showing me, you know, and then I went, don't worry, man, I'm gonna fuck this guy up. So when I fought with him, I cut weight. At the week of the fight, I was in the weight. It was only 1 kilo left.
Oh, easy day.
Easy, you know, and I saw everybody like kill themselves, you know, cut weight. And he was so arrogant, you know. He didn't want to shake hands with me at the weightings. He was super confident that he's going to beat me up, knock me out so badly, you know. And it wasn't funny as well, interesting, because a lot of people were telling me, you're the underdog. Was 4-1, you know. Like if you bet on me and you won, you get 4 times more.
4 times your money, yeah.
Yes, and everybody, you know, the media was saying to me, he knocked everybody out, you're not fight for 4 years, he never been finished. Nobody never submit him. What do you think? I'm like, I don't think nothing about this guy. He's nothing, he's nobody. Nobody finished him because he didn't fight me. Yeah, but Georges St-Pierre, his partner. I said, I don't give a fuck. He can train with Georges St-Pierre. He can train with John Jones. He can be part of the camp of the UFC champions in the history. I'm still gonna fuck him up, you know. I don't need to train with John Jones or Georges St-Pierre. I beat him up in the breakfast, you know. It's an easy fight for me. And that's what I did. I make him tap in the first round, you know. I get 50K.
Hey, good day, huh?
And he wants to fight me at the lob. Because
yeah.
I say, hey, thanks for the fight. Like, oh, you're a piece of shit, you're nothing. If I fight you 100 times, I will beat you. I told him, why you didn't beat me up?
You had your chance, right? You had your chance.
And that time, my wife, she stood up, and he said, look how pussy you are. Your wife is protecting you. And she said to me in Portuguese, don't beat this guy. Let's think about the 50K, you know. Don't beat him up. He's nothing. He's a lot. And then he was telling me things. I told him, listen, do you think you're a tough man? You're not a tough man. Look at you. You're just a pussy, bro. You lost. Do you think I'm going to fight you outside? I'm going to bring a guy. He's going to rape you. I'm going to record and send your whole family. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. And then later I came to see him, to beat him up. And he looked at me and ran away, you know. It's just, and then he got killed, you know. I think he should stuck in bodyguard, you know. That's
should have stayed with Neymar.
Yes, stay with Neymar and suck his dick, lick his ball, you know. He's a prostitute anyway.
Yeah.
And I beat him up, and he still cry when he see my Brazilian friends in Thailand. He say, I grabbed the gloves, you know. Bro, it was hilarious, you know. Like, if somebody beat me, I respect. If the guy wanna touch hand, I'll touch hand. I respect. You know, if you lose, you lose. That's it.
Yeah.
If you win, I'll keep the same respect. You know.
Yeah.
But guys, I told him, you're a French guy. You're not even a tough guy. You know who you think? You never saw nobody kill each other in front of you. Don't play gangster with me because you're a pussy.
Right.
It was hilarious. You know, I like to make jokes with people like this, you know, you break their confidence down.
Yeah. I think when you speak about things certain times, there's a famous fight in the UK. Do you know who Frank Bruno is? Boxer.
Yes, I know. I met him once. Lovely guy.
Yeah, great guy. But he was, there was a story of him, I don't know, it was before I was born, right? But specifics, but he fought, I think it was Tim Witherspoon's. And Tim Witherspoon was talking about things outside. And Tim Witherspoon was like years later said the things he was saying to Frank took Frank down a level. He said it made it a lot harder for Frank to fight him versus if he hadn't said it, it'd have been harder for him to fight Frank. Do you know what I mean? He said like there was a lot that went into that one.
But I never say this kind of things before a fight. Yeah. But if the guy keeps talking, then I'm gonna come to him and I'm gonna say, you know, like a lot of people in the fight game, they wanna be called gangster. They don't have a clue what gangster is, you know. Real gangster, they are like terrorists. They don't wanna be seen. They don't wanna let people know about them. And this is a funny thing. Everybody says they're gangster. When they say, okay, let's fight. They know, no. I need to prepare. I need to get prepared. I need to do this. Bro, this is, you know, it's just hilarious. You know?
I need 6 weeks, Claudio.
Yeah, I need 6 weeks. I'm like, well, you said you're a gangster. You fight anytime,
any place.
Run away.
But not now.
Not now. Okay, no problem. All right. You have your certificate of pussy. Go away.
But I tell you, when you fought Leon Edwards, right? He obviously, we said before, he went on to be champion. When you fought him, how good was he?
Was great, man. You know, he's a great guy. I have a lot of respect for him, and was way younger than me. I didn't know him. You know, I didn't know he was Burma champion. And when I fought with him, it was funny because my uncle came to me and said, "Look, you need to kill this guy." I'm like, "Why? Do you remember that guy?" Because at our hometown, there's like a famous old man, you know. He has a funny nickname, you know, Tiger's Paw was his nickname. And then you have another, he was a black guy, strong guy, and there is another black guy in Brazil that is very famous as well. He even fought against Rickson. His name was Zulu. So then once Zulu came to our hometown, Uberlândia, and beat him up in front of the crowd. And still nowadays people remember it, you know, more than 4 years ago. And my uncle said to me, if you lost to this guy, you're gonna be the biggest loser of the century, because you're on UFC, on TV, millions of people watching, so you have to make sure you beat him up.
Right, because in your hometown as well.
Yes, otherwise, even your next 6 generations will be remembered as a loser. Wow, that's the best thing he told me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna kill him, you know, even more, you know. And he was that was funny, he was a favorite, I was an underdog as well. So when I was warming up, my hand was wet, like wet and cold, you know, because of course it's adrenaline. And after I beat him, Dedé Pederneiras is the head coach of Nova União. He said to me, fuck hell, man. I didn't want to say to you, but you were the underdog. And when I was making your hands was sweating and cold, you know. But, you know, I have a lot of respect for Leon. He's a great guy. He's a great champion. I can see he's a family man. I respect him a lot, you know. When he became a champion, I was so happy. A lot of people say, write something, try to fight him again. I say, man, guy is a UFC champion. I'm not going to do that.
That's his day, right?
It's his day, his time. You know, why I need to, well, in order to me win, he doesn't have to lose, you know. I was like, no, do you know, I want that this guy, he become like a legend of the division, you know. I wish for him that he defends the his title like 20 times.
Yeah.
You know, go become like a double champion, triple champion. You know, why am I gonna? You know, he's a great guy. You know, he's a very respectful guy. Why am I gonna say something bad about him? You know,
that's cool.
All the time when I met him, he's shake hands with me. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. That's what it's about at the end of the day, right?
He's a British hero, you know. People have to respect
He's got a
him.
great story as well, hasn't he? You know, coming from Jamaica, like from poverty and doing what he's done. But when you like we spoke before we started filming, you said you finished fighting now. What was the decision there? How come the career's over?
Until 2 years ago, I was trying to come back. When I retired, I called PFL. I spoke with Ray Seffel. He said, "Look, I want you in, but you're 40 years old." The tournament was 4 fights in a year. Our team said, like, you're a risk. And then I thought, you know what, leave it. I'm not fighting anymore.
Right.
And then I stopped training for like almost 1 year. I was fat and depressed, you know. Then I go back train again at GBT Top Team. So I was trying to get a contract. Once they invite me to fight PFL against some guy, nobody wants to fight him. And I said, fight him, no problem, you know, give me the contract. Contract never came. Oh. I don't know if he doesn't want to fight, you know. And then I was training in the morning at the competitors team, and then one day I just get injured. I had like 2 injuries in the same leg, you know, in the wrestling training. And then I was, man, it takes so long to recover. And then my friend said to me, man, you're too old for this, you know. Why you punish yourself, wake at 7 a.m., go train young guys, you know? Then I thought, you know what? I'm not fighting, you know? I'm not fighting anymore. Then I find all the business, so I'm happy, you know, I made more money then. And then I said, well, I'm gonna just train for fun, you know?
Nice.
And I'm not gonna punish myself anymore, try to get what I want, you know? Some organizations, they offer you so, like nothing, you know, 10 plus 10. I'm like, man.
That makes it not worth it anymore.
Forget, you know, I have to stop my life. I need full focus, you know, because in UFC, when I have a fight, I block my whole family. I don't want to talk. I don't want to know about problems. Even friends, I used to block my friends, not talk to them, you know, for like 2 months. I need focus. I don't want to know what's going on outside, you know. So to go through it again, you know, has to be like a good money, you know.
Of course, right,
And you have to diet as well. You know?
77 kilos is hard, right?
No, I will never do that. I will never do that. I will never ever, you know, be at 7 kilos.
What do you walk around? You know what? I'll tell you an interesting question before we finish. When you actually get in the cage, when obviously you weigh in the day before, when you actually fight, what was your weight?
84, 86.
Yeah, okay, so not crazy because some people go nuts, but
you
like
cannot do that. A maximum 84. 84 kilograms. You know?
That's about right, isn't it? It's about good. That's good.
But the problem was after the fight. Because I don't want to do anything. And I go to Brazil when I eat, you know. And then I remember once I was eating and training a lot. And then I thought, wow, if I did 12 rounds of training, I can eat, you know. And I make a huge plate. And then when you go to the scale, 100 kilograms. I'm like, that's what I have to go through, you know. In the pandemic, I went from 107 kilograms to 77 in 2 months.
That's tough, isn't it, on the body?
Tough,
Fucking hell, that's tough on the
COVID
body.
was crazy, you know?
And
I had that camp. I did the camp and my opponents changed 6 times. You know, it was crazy, you know?
That's tough, isn't it? That's tough. But mate, listen, this has been brilliant. I appreciate your time. Maybe we'll do this again at some point, man. This was great. We're doing this again for sure. I'm going to come try your restaurant and stuff like that. Before we finish, most important question. This decides whether we stay friends, bro. Which football team you support?
Man, I'm the worst. I don't understand nothing about football.
Chelsea, very good, my man, top man.
I like Flamengo in Brazil.
Okay, that's a good answer. I'll take that.
I'm very sad with Brazil. You know, now footballers become celebrity. They don't want to play hard, you know. I don't even care. If you put Neymar in front of me, I'm not going to say nothing. I don't even going to recognize him. That's how good I am on football.
I got you. It's a strange one for a Brazilian as well.
The only thing I know about footballers was Romário, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Bebeto, Vampeta, Adriano.
Big names.
Guys that bring girls to the concentration, that fucking girls going out, drink alcohol, fight people. That's why we used to be good at football. Nowadays, you have these guys, they cannot even talk, you know, they're all fake. That's why I don't care for football.
Well, listen, man, as I said, this has been brilliant. I always finish with a fist up like this. Squeeze the neck. Boom!